Hey guys, Derek here to do my UFC 125 recap video real quick. I'm going to try to run through these fights real quick because I recorded these videos on my phone. And this will be my third time shooting this video, and I keep going over it because I keep talking too much. But real quick, great night of fights. I went 3-1-1 on the card. Great way to start off the year in MMA. Jump into it. First fight of the night, Clay Guida, the Fireball Kid, Mr. Gomi. I predicted Clay Guida by submission. By decision. He ended up winning by a choke in the second round. I thought what was so great about this fight was the weird head movement that Guida had going on in the fight. You know, it was hysterical at times, but proved effective. And Gomi didn't have an answer for it. I see Clay Guida should get the winner of Donald Melvin Gillard because the lightweight division, best division in MMA right now. See, you know, just keep knocking, contenders just knocking each other off, and winners keep moving up the ladder. Gomi, I think we need to see him in a fight in the UFC where he's going to get a fight, somebody that's going to stand with him. We've not got to see that yet in the UFC. I like him to see him get the winner of Ross Pierce and Spencer Fisher. Second fight of the night, Don Juan Kim, Nate Diaz. I predicted Kim by decision, which I was correct on. I thought Diaz looked impressive, though. I thought this would be the fight that showed that Diaz couldn't fight at welterweight. He proved us wrong. I think he can fight with the guys. You guys let me know. I think he's a better welterweight, actually, than a lightweight. Kim, after the fight, called out GSP. Okay, buddy, whatever. I would love to see Kim fight Thiago Alves if that Story Alves fight isn't signed yet by ink. I'd love to see Alves shut this guy up, man. The way he just for that dude calling out GSP might be one of the dumbest things. It's not even worth mentioning, to be honestly. But I'd like to see that. Nate Diaz, I think he should stay at welterweight. Fight Daniel Roberts next. Daniel Roberts got a submission win on the undercard. Third fight of the night, Brandon Vera, Thiago Silva. I predicted Thiago Silva first round TKO. Did not happen that way. Thiago won the fight by decision. If you remember my video, I said the difference really in the fight would be that Brandon Vera has no heart. And I think this fight proved that even more. You know, Brandon Vera showed lay and pray from the bottom last night. When Thiago got the fight to the ground, Brandon didn't try to do any damage to Thiago, didn't try to get the fight back up to his feet, just kind of stood on the bottom and hung on, waiting for the referee to stand it up, which didn't happen. The third round when Thiago started to bitch slap Brandon Vera, great stuff. I was laughing my ass off. You know, there's a big argument on YouTube between me and a bunch of guys on here whether Thiago Silva's a legit top 10 light heavyweight in the world, and I think he is. I think he's a great fighter, got the skill set, finishes people, and I believe he's a top 10 fighter. I think a way to kind of prove this more or less quickly is give him a wrestler, give him Phil Davis, Matt Hamill next. And I think that will answer that argument real quickly if he can beat a guy who's got a solid game that can take the fight to the ground and has the ability to do that. So Phil Davis, Matt Hamill for Thiago next. Brandon Vera, you know, I don't know if he'll be cut because of his skill. He's got a good skill set. But if he's not cut, which is a high possibility, I'd like to see Brandon Vera, Stephen Bonner next. Co-main event of the evening, the fight that I did get incorrect. I predicted Chris Lieben by a TKO or decision. I can't remember saying Brian Stann be finished tough to finish. Nonetheless, Brian Stann, the difference in the fight, you know, Brian Stann won by TKO. The difference in the fight for me was the technical game plan of Brian Stann against the brawling style of Chris Lieben. You know, Lieben just was sloppy. Stann caught him. Greg Jackson, I thought, done a great job with Stan. Josh Rosenthal showing why he's the best referee in the business, not stepping in too quick, stepped in when he had to, gave Chris Lieben every chance. But, you know, Brian Stann got the TKO victory, great stoppage. Stan caught out Vanderlei Silva, don't see that fight happening. I see the Vanderlei Sonnen fight happening, and I like to see, because Stan, you know, to find out, to just shut up everything real quick, I like Stan, great guy, but he's not, in my opinion, he's not an elite guy in the middleweight division, and the fighter to shut that up real quick is Damian Maia. That's all I have to say about that. Chris Lieben, we'd like to see this guy in tough fights. I would love to see Lieben fight Alan Belcher next. Alan Belcher's getting ready to come off energy. Alright, main event of the evening, the fight that They was, a lot of people say, well, this fight was going to be boring. On YouTube, guys, I thought we done a good job of, a bunch of you, we went back and forth on, very exciting about this fight. As boring as everybody thought this fight may be, and you even saw it in the UFC and the fan voting, and you see it on here in the prediction videos, is this fight was 50-50 as far as prediction goes. I mean, it was real close. People picking Maynard, people picking Edgar. And I thought, there's a lot of excitement for me getting ready to watch this fight. Maynard came out and rocked him in that first round. When Edgar, was talking about Brandon Vera not having any heart, Frankie Edgar showing that he has the heart and the biggest balls maybe I've ever seen. Definitely up there. Just surviving, and even landed a good shot in that first round when Maynard was trying to finish him. I gave the first round 10-8 to Maynard. Second, Frankie got that big takedown, man. I was pumped up. I scored the second round 10-9 for Frankie. Third round, I scored 10-9 for Maynard, getting those takedowns at the end. And the last two rounds, I gave to Frankie, which would have been a 47-47 decision, which would have been a draw, which the decision ended up being a draw, which I agreed with. I have more problems with the 48-46 Maynard than I do the 48-46 Edgar. I think if you give the fight to one guy or the other, you got to give it to Edgar. But nonetheless, we're going to get to see these guys again in the post-fight press conference. They said that Pettis was going to get it. But if you go to MMAfighting.com, you can go see Ariel's interview with Dana White. Dana White said Frankie Gray Maynard 3 will happen sooner rather than later. Great night of fights, guys. I just want to end on this note. A lot of people keep talking shit about Frankie Edgar. BJ Penn wasn't motivated to fight him, so that's why Frankie Edgar was able to beat him. Bullshit, guys. Frankie Edgar is in the talks for best pound for pound fighter on the planet. He's a 145-pound fighter doing this to guys at 155. And I think he's the best fighter at 155. And I think when we see the third fight between him and Maynard here, probably in about 3 months, 4 months at the latest, because I think Dana said he was wanting to get it done kind of quickly because of the whole Pettis WEC situation. I think Frankie will come out and prove why he's the best 155-pound fighter on the planet. Great night of fights. Great way to start off the year. Already got a Fight of the Year candidate in Maynard Edgar. Does it get any better than that? Let me guys know what you think. Peace, guys. MMA.